All right, so today I had a little bit of a light bulb moment, a little bit of, I feel like I cracked the code for the future of the sport. And we also want to crack the code for the YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook algorithms by you guys clicking that like button and maybe leave a comment for your thoughts, and that would crack that code particularly good. But today a light bulb went up, and it went up because I was doing the French national championship results, or I was looking at them actually, and thank you for Total SUP for posting them. I was really kind of curious on what's going on there, and while I'm looking at the names, the first thing that I noticed was, number one, only big names on the podium, like big names, international big names on the podium and up and coming names. And then next to it, I realized and I saw like they all belong to a club. Every town or every athlete belongs to some sort of a club. And sometimes it's a surf club and sometimes it's a paddle club. And France is a big country. There are surfing regions and there are paddling regions. And there seems not to be a problem to have a national championship under either you come as a paddle club or you come as a surf club. But the point is that there are clubs. And then I'm thinking like, hey, I just wrote a piece on the German SUP youth, where like in some regions, the local press is praising the young kids about their early successes. And I'm thinking like, well, look at that. It appears to be that in the regions where there is a club present with some sort of a structure and adults nurturing the youth, actually some results are being achieved. And we know one of the bigger results is Mallorca, with the club there and what Laura Queklos is doing. So all of a sudden I'm like, all these three things come together. I'm thinking like, well, that's it, guys. That's what needs to be done. And we can see, for example, in places where it's not done. For example, here in Hawaii, everything started, but we don't have any. We have OC1 clubs, but there's no SCP club. There's no surf club. In schools started to become a surf sport, or a school sport. Excuse me, the school surf school sport. So the US, for example, is very big on school sports, like college sports, high school sports, big, like bigger than I've ever seen it, or like bigger than I know what it is in Europe. But SCP, for example, has not found its way into the school sport. So therefore, no nurturing, no bringing up. I mean, other than Fiona Wild up in Hood River, which does a tremendous job with the kids, or Candice Appleby's with her community over in Dana Point. And I'm sure maybe there's some other ones across the country. But then it's not really organized or structured in the US, unless it's a school sport. Or we look like another example for me is the life safe sport in Australia, how highly organized it is and how the kids are learning life-saving sports so early in age, while here in Hawaii, once again, nothing is being done. They have 5 days for the kids in summer break, but nothing like we see in Australia. So now I'm really seeing a path forward. The future of the sport is the youth, of course, we all know that, and it's the bring up and the structure that we have. And that local structure, in my opinion, needs to be applied into a regional structure, from there to a national structure, which, for example, where I'm looking at a lot is in Germany. We have still there the Surfing Association and we have the Canoe Association. They are quite getting along it's on some levels, or in Switzerland they're doing the same thing, but a unifying of the sport, whether if it's canoe or surfing clubs, is very necessary, just like I've seen this now in the French example. And then if we can move forward with this internationally, then I don't have to go and look and count how many world champions we are going to have in 2022. And then we can apply the same system up. And speaking of world championships, I am pretty sure the Spanish and the French will continue to clean up international competitions and world championships because they have that structure. They have names that are being brought up, and that's what we've seen, and we continue to see that. That's my 5 cents about this. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one.